Why is it important for a family to pass cultural heritage and traditional values to kids? Our rich and varied cultural heritage has a profound power to help build our nation. Nelson Mandela, political leader, philanthropist. In the above statement by Mr. Nelson Mandela, he emphasized the importance of cultural heritage and how it can help in building up a nation. I think many of you would agree with him on this. Cultural heritage is a powerful tool that can bring about great changes in society. Traditional values and heritage are a great inheritance that, when passed along to the next generation, hold the ability to create a firm foundation for the upcoming society. If you are keen to know about cultural heritage and traditional values, then this article is for you. Tag along till the end as we will be covering some of the great topics and information revolving around cultural heritage. But, first, let's begin with the basics. What is the meaning of cultural heritage? Cultural heritage is anything related to the culture, that is values, languages, traditions, etc. that speaks of the history and connects us to the past. It creates a sense of belonging and strengthens cultural ties between generations. Cultural heritage and traditional values are the inheritance that is passed on from generation to generation. Old folk tales, skills, social practices, religious traditions, natural environment, etc. are all part of cultural heritage. They are an integral part of society and are passed down from previous generations. The knowledge that is shared connects the communities together and gives a peek at the past through the information. The wisdom that is passed down from our ancestors is a way to show the present community how to live sustainably. Cultural heritage is a wider concept that includes everything that gives evidence of human creativity. Anything that has value and which is left by the previous generation for the future and can bring positive change is considered heritage. In the next topic, we will be discussing the types of heritage. What are different types of cultural heritage? Does heritage restricted to material things only? As we have discussed previously, cultural heritage and traditional values are passed down from the previous generation to the next. It could be anything that has value and can show proof of human creativity. It includes physical and abstract heritage. Some describe it as tangible and intangible heritage. But, does heritage restricted to material things only? No, it isn't. We know traditional values are part of cultural heritage. The wisdom that we inherited formed the basis of our society. It gave us a way to live life. Hence, there are things that we can't see but are passed down, such as knowledge. This is important as it tells us about our history. Let's have a look at types of heritage. Physical heritage. The physical things work as evidence for us as it gives us an insight into the world of the previous generation. It not only reveals their way of living but also gives rise to various questions such as, who made it? What values and beliefs are attached to them, and many more. The things we acquired in physical form, which are also called material things like scriptures, paintings, monuments, relics, etc., come under the category of physical heritage. It depicts our ancestors' way of living. Abstract heritage. Knowledge and values were passed down with the purpose of guiding us to live better lives. Customs show us the way to live life in peace and harmony with the land and animals, as flora and fauna are both integral parts of society. Knowledge, wisdom, customs, languages, dance forms, rituals, skills like craftsmanship, handwork, and social practices are all part of the abstract heritage. Why is it essential for a family to pass on cultural heritage to kids? Often we have heard our elders emphasizing the importance of culture and values. I am sure many of you must have wondered why it is essential to pass on cultural heritage to kids. A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. Marcus Garvey, Jamaican political activist, publisher, and journalist. Let's broaden our understanding of cultural inheritance. There are so many different languages that are being used today, and other customs being followed. Wherever you go, you will see something new. Whether you visit a new country, a city, or even a village, you will see fragments of the culture and tradition of their community. The passing along of the cultural heritage forms the base of the new community. It ensures that society maintains a harmonious relationship with nature's other forces like vegetation and the animal world. The teaching that we receive from our ancestors in the form of cultural heritage binds the young generation with their roots and beliefs. With the prevailing trend of modernization, cultural values are losing their significance in modern society. They have been left to mere pages in the history books. People are losing the essence of living a harmonious life. Do you know fact? In China, during the Cultural Revolution, much damage was done to both the Chinese people and China's traditional culture. Temples were looted. Relics, temples, scrolls, and books containing vast amounts of cultural heritage were burned and destroyed under the red gaze of the Cultural Revolution. What many people don't know is that the Cultural Revolution in China, 1966 to 1976, was more than just a large campaign to instill Communist Party culture into the minds of the Chinese people and transform China from an agrarian society into a modern industrial society. It was more than just a revolt to overthrow the monarchy and establish an ultra-left party system in China. A large part of the Culture Revolution's agenda was also the destruction of traditional Chinese culture, or as it was officially called, Destruction of Four Olds campaign. What role does cultural heritage and traditional values play in shaping society? No nation can survive without passing its heritage, language, and, yes, faith to the next generation. A country must be built on something substantial, and if the cultural elitists think it can be built on diversity, that is a foundation of shifting sand. Kel Thomas, columnist, author, and radio commentator. It is rightly said that no nation can survive without passing on its heritage. You know why? It is because these are the foundation on which the survival of a society depends. We are all different, but what brings us all together is our cultural heritage and values. Well, human society constantly engages in choosing what is worthy of being preserved for future generations. Any work of art which has cultural significance can be displayed in public places to educate people about its importance. There are statues that have been installed for the common public so that they can admire the art and appreciate it. Why people are drifting away from their cultural heritage. We have already discussed the importance of cultural heritage, and why is it important to be passed on. But, it is also essential to talk about why people are drifting away from their cultural heritage and traditional values. Is it because of a lack of knowledge, or that people are so involved in their lives that they simply forgot about it? Let's talk a little bit about the possible reasons why people are losing the essence of heritage. The rapid emergence of nuclear families. On the one hand, we are advancing towards a better future. On the other, we are losing the touch with our culture and traditions. People migrate to cities in search of better opportunities and life. They leave the countryside in the hope of returning one day back to their native place. But, they get trapped in the busy life of the city, slowly and steadily drifting away from the roots of the joint family. Earlier, a joint family wasn't just a concept but was the base on which the family values were established, making sure that members inherit the knowledge and wisdom from their elders. But with the growth of nuclear families, people couldn't stay in touch with their elders, hence restricting the transfer of knowledge and values. People's tendency of attaching everything to scientific theories. Well, earlier people followed the elderly teachings for some reasons. They believed in the essence of the sayings, and it was easier for people to have faith in the culture, tradition, and knowledge passed down by the elderly. Now people easily attach scientific knowledge and theories to everything. One of the main reasons for people not following cultural values is the lack of belief in them. They relate everything to science and close their eyes to what the teachings said. Cross-border travel. In recent years, the large movement of people from one country to another has increased rapidly. People are traveling to different corners of the world and are making different countries their new home. This results in the mixing up of native traditions with that of the host country, resulting in losing the actual culture. What needs to be done a certain way gets lost, replacing the old traditions with modern ones. Overall, cultural heritage works as a guiding force for a harmonious society. Basically, the significance of traditional values in our life is huge. Cultural heritage is valuable. We should respect it because it makes us who we are. It gives us our identity and shapes humanity. Furthermore, we need to make deliberate efforts to ensure that our children understand and appreciate what our ancestors left for us. Lastly, it is a treasure for a lifetime. A concerted effort to preserve our heritage is a vital link to our cultural, educational, aesthetic, inspirational, and economic legacies, all of the things that quite literally make us who we are. Steve Barry, author and attorney.